What's going on, YouTubers? For ladies and gentlemen, it's the Natural Born Thriller, and welcome everyone to All Elite Wrestling Review, the show from July 28th, 2021, where it pertains to giving you AEW Dynamite results, where it pertains to AEW Dynamite presenting Fight for the Fallen. It's a t-shirt from last year, obviously, and still a cool looking t-shirt, by the way, with the mask. It pertains to the whole COVID-19 situation. So there you go. But yeah, they were at Charlotte, North Carolina, at the Bojangles Coliseum. I'm assuming that's how it's pronounced, with the attendance of 7,000 AEW fans in attendance under the promotion of All Elite Wrestling. Pertains to the commentators, you had good old Gerald Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur. And yeah, a lot to get through of the show, especially something that that really made me scratch my head about what they did here. By the way, maybe turn this around for this. There we go. That's better. So let's get to the show here. So the opening match. First of all, before I get to the opening match itself, gotta see what happened before we get to the opening match here. Oh yeah, that's right. It was a video package, which I thought was a very cool video package that basically was an introduction for the entrance for the Hangman and the Page and the Dark Order that was part of the match. But it was a cool video package of basically pertains to being a true cowboy. And the Dark Order was also being true cowboys as well. It was well done, very very well produced, and it was pretty cool. And we get the interest of the Hangman and the Page and the Dark Order, and obviously you did have Dark Order out there, especially the ones that were a part of the match. And John Silver, the return of John Silver back in the ring, Alex Reynolds, Evil Uno, and Stu Grayson. And I love the entrance. And then we get to the other entrance, which, by the way, the match itself is between the Hangman and the Page and the Dark Order versus the Elite, where it pertains to a 10-man elimination tag team match, like a New Japan style and also like a WWE style, and it pertains to the Survivor Series. So where it pertains to New Japan style is a 10-man tag team match. But at the same time, it also the same thing with the WWE too as well. But to me, I focus more on that one than the WWE right now. But it was still also a Survivor Series type of style match too, because elimination rules, which it was also the same thing with Japan as well, where it pertains to the elimination rules, elimination rules as well. But the way they do the elimination rules is way different than what they did when it pertains to WWE's elimination rules in these 10-man tag matches. So, which is very unique, which is doing Japan Pro Wrestling, how they do it. I'm sorry, folks. My eyes are bothering me a little bit. I shouldn't be doing that, but it's really nagging me. I should wash my face too, by the way. I'm gonna do just that after this. Okay, so I'm sorry, folks. And I'm pretty tired too. So, anyways, so the Elite came out, and they were basically the Elite Squad, paying homage to Space Jam, where it tends to them being the Toon Squad. And yeah, they're basically that's what they were, the Toon Squad. Again, my apologies for that, folks. But yeah, but pertains to Matt and Nick Jackson, Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson, and Kenny Omega, and being accompanied by Brandon Cutler and Michael Nakazawa. And you have, I don't remember if Don Callis was on commentary though. That's the thing I don't remember. I don't recall if he was on commentary or not. But I digress. But the match happened, and the match itself was entertaining. And and again, with the whole interest of the Elite being the Elite Squad, I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was unique as well. I mean, they were good for all, but I enjoyed it for what it was. Number to say. And then, again, folks, I apologize for this. Sorry about that. My apologies, folks. Hopefully that it's a little better now. With my eyes. But yeah. So yeah, you had the Elite versus the Dark Order and Hangman and Page. 25 minutes and 35 seconds it lasted. So the stipulation or this 10-minute tag team elimination match is that if the Hangman, I meant to say, and the Dark Order won their match against the Elite, the Hangman and Page will get an AEW World Tag Team, an AEW World Title shot, and the Young Bucks will defend their AEW World Tag Team titles against one of the Dark Orders. And my eyes bar me again, and I'm just not in that mode, folks. I mean, in that mood, I guess. Sorry, folks. I apologize. Let's get to order eliminations. Let me just try to get through this. Cause I am tired. Alex Reynolds got pinned by Carl Anderson in 4 minutes and 10 seconds. Carl Anderson got pinned by Evil Uno in 4 minutes and 50 seconds. Stu Grayson and Doc Gallows were both counted out in 11 minutes and 15 seconds. Evil Uno was pinned by Kenny Omega in 12 minutes and 30 seconds. John Silver got pinned by Matt Jackson in 19 minutes and 5 seconds. Matt Jackson got pinned by the Hangman and Page in 24 minutes. And the Hangman and Page gets pinned by Kenny Omega in 25 minutes and 35 seconds, which means the survivors was the Elite members of Nick Jackson and Kenny Omega. And I'll get to more about how I feel about the Hangman losing here. First of all, let me talk about how the performance was. Alex Reynolds, some good spots in the match, for the brief time he had in there, until Carl Anderson got rid of him, and then with Carl Anderson got eliminated from this match, it just shows you how they value the machine gun Carl Anderson. And I thought, even though I'm kind of done with the good person and all that, because they're goofballs and all that, but this is a guy that became a big star in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and this show how valuable he was on this platform on AEW by being the first one eliminated from the match. I'm not trying to say he should have last. I mean, what I'm trying to say here is that maybe he should have lasted a little longer, than how they did it here. Stu Grayson did a unique, tremendous, stupendous springboard off the apron onto the top rope. You think on the second rope, but no, on the top rope, and then he does a corkscrew. But they didn't catch him. They basically let him fall flat in the back of his head. Thank God he's alright though, because he has to come back up and all. But wow, for a company that loves to do this type of spot monkey stuff, at least the least you can do is try to protect those wrestlers that trust in you, that trust in them to protect them. And what happened with that? What's the whole trust in there? Why even do the spot in the first place if not even gonna commit to it? Ridiculous. So that led to Stu Grayson and Doc Gallows fighting and probably through the crowd, and it ended up being counted out. John Silver, he was kicking ass in this match. He was flying all over the place. Not talking about doing high flying moves and all that, but he was basically running through all the Elite and all that until he got cut off at the end. They did a spot where I think it was onto John Silver on the outside. Where the indie taker or the muscle driver, with Nick Jackson doing the springboard with the basketball and all that, on the outside and all that, he missed the hoop by the way, but he ends up hitting it again, and yeah, that was basically it for that one. The Hangman and Page was had to go up against the Elite members in this match. And then he ends up giving Matt Jackson, and then between Kenny Omega and the Hangman, Also, when it comes to the Hangman going for his finishing move, the rite of passage. I mean, the Dead Eye, I meant to say. It's called the Dead Eye now. In music called the rite of passage. But yeah, he went for the Dead Eye onto Kenny Omega, and Kenny Omega kicked out of it. So Kenny Omega is allowed to kick out finishers, but Hangman cannot be kicked out of the finisher either. Cannot allowed to be kicked out of the finisher. How's that fair? So and yes, his buckshot lariat is the finisher that he does, but that's also his finisher, the Deadeye. He's known to win a lot of matches with that move, and the fact that he didn't beat Kenny Omega with that move, they just bury his finishing move there. So the Deadeye is no good anymore. And also they try to do some cheating too and all. And guess who's refereeing that match? Ryan Knox, the fixed referee for the Elite. So the Hangman and the Page loses to the Wing Angel. Couldn't kick out of it. I mean, they have him kick out a lot of things too, like the bell shots, other things they did, like the super kick party and all. But in a way, they still kind of protected him. But at the same time, can't be bothered to be allowed to kick out of a finisher. Ridiculous. Now, as far as my thoughts about the Hangman losing here, like what the fuck they're waiting for? Like if it's not going to be the Hangman Page, then who's going to be? Is it going to be who? Christian Cage? Is Christian Cage going to get the shot? If that's going to be the story they're building up, and it's been teased before, it's going to be Christian Cage and Kenny Omega eventually. But is that going to be the match we're going to do at All Out in Chicago? Christian Cage versus Kenny Omega. Because the Hangman Page, I feel like this should have been his moment here. It should have been his opportunity. How long are they going to wait until we finally get the Hangman and the Page's time to shine to be the AEW World Champion? So yeah, I did not like this at all, but it is kind of leading to something. Hopefully, it does lead to eventually the Hangman and Page becoming AEW World Champion. When it's going to happen, I don't know. And are they gonna hold off of this until we get to an event that matters most? Likely, I don't know. It just depends how they're gonna keep milking this until we get to that point. But as they're milking this, it's I don't know. It's to me I feel like that should have been the moment for the Hangman to finally get his opportunity at All Out. And the fact that we're not getting there. I believe the Hangman's gonna be losing a lot of steam until we get there, and I mean he's still gonna be over the fans though and all, but at this point, I don't know. I just don't know. But yeah, it makes more clear about what they're going with this whole thing once we get to what happened on the next Dynamite review. So, but yeah, wasn't a fan of that at all. I mean, match was still good either way. And despite the whole thing with it happened with Stu Grayson, which it was so ridiculous. All right, but that was that. Now, let me get to what happened after the match. Let me see here. Oh yeah. Let me just make sure. Okay, yeah. So we get Alex Marvez. He interviews Death Triangle, except for only Pac was there. Pac says that Ray Phoenix and Penta and Zio Miller are here, but someone canceled their car. And also Andrade El Idolo and Chavo Guerrero Jr. shows up. Obviously, they were responsible for that. But Chavo says that Phoenix and Penta are arriving, thanks to them ordering Penta and Phoenix a limo. And Andrade tells Pac to order the better rides for those guys, or someone will do it for him, basically. And that was it. Not much to say about that. Obviously, it's leading to a program where Andrade El Idolo and Chavo Guerrero Jr. are going to find someone to team up with to go up against Death Triangle. Will it lead to All Out? Maybe. Who knows? It just depends how they're going to book this and let us give us a hint of when it's going to happen. So, Taz announces the new FTW champion, Ricky Starks, as he comes out with Hook. And there was no Powerhouse Hobbs, unfortunately, because Powerhouse Hobbs, unfortunately, is dealing with the loss of his mother, unfortunately. And all we can say is our best wishes goes out to Will Hobbs and to his family for the untimely loss of the of a family member. And all I can say is Godspeed to Powerhouse Hobbs. Rest in peace to his mom. So sorry for his loss. And nothing to say other than rest in power to his mom. So this celebration for Ricky Starks, for him being the FTW World Champ, the new FTW World Champion. Out comes the brass band playing, instruments and all that, the drums and trombones and whatever. I say, so what kind of celebration is this? So also Ricky Starks gets on record and says that he been the glue and the anchor of the group for the whole time. He could forgive someone. He could forgive, I meant to say, some of the things Cage did, but when he had him, his neck injured, I meant to say, Cage didn't even bother checking up on him, saying that he's becoming the star that Cage has been trying to figure out how to be to be over for the last 17 years. Continues to talking trash about Brian Cage and all that. Also, Brian Cage comes out. He beats up the bands, not all of them, but just a couple of them. He gets in the ring, but Starks throws flowers to Cage into the face, and that was it. The segment itself, it was whatever, but the promo from Ricky Starks was excellent, stupendous, and that's the only thing about the segment I enjoy. I enjoyed the celebration, pertains to the bands. I did enjoy Brian Cage, coming out to build the bands. Oh, another thing I did enjoy was Ricky Starks throwing the flowers, the bouquet of flowers, roses where it was, to Brian Cage, so that he could escape. I thought that was funny. So there you go. That's my thoughts about that. Hiroshi Tanahashi, a New Japan Pro Wrestling star, appears on the Tempotron. Obviously, it's a video that was recorded over in Japan. Basically, he says he wants to challenge Lance Archer, the Murdoch Monster, for the IWGP United States Championship title. And it's going to happen at our Resurgence. New Japan Pro Wrestling's show at Resurgence. So, but the thing is, the match here is Lance Archer and Hikuleo for the title. But obviously we all know who won that match though. Because we'll get to that. So then we get to the second match, finally, and it will feature Proud and Powerful, or in this case, LAX, where it tends to be accompanied by Conan, Santana and Ortiz, representing the Inner Circle. They go up against FTR, Cash Wheeler, and Dax Harwood, being accompanied by Tully Blanchard. 8 minutes the match lasted, a tag team match, with the match ended up being pretty good. And I feel like it should have been great in a show stealer. Unfortunately, the match had to cut short because this something happened to Cash Wheeler in the match. They was going for the Power and Glory finishing move. I keep forgetting what it was called. With a suplex, when they do the suplex to the opponent off the top rope, and then the other partner goes off the top rope with a splash. So they was going for that. Unfortunately, Cash Wheeler was pushed off the turnbuckle, and his arm got caught on, I don't know where he got caught on, somewhere from the turnbuckle there. I didn't notice at the time until we got to the Dynamite show. The other Dynamite show, the homecoming one, whatever, in the other place in Jacksonville, Florida, when they showed the replay of it. And I had no idea of what happened there. What happens to what happened on the show here, watching it live. And then, because what ended up being the finish of the match was Dax Harwood hit a brainbuster, just a regular hit on brainbuster onto Ortiz and gets the win. And I thought that was odd the way it ended. And then Harwood checking on Wheeler, who had an accident on his arm. Again, I had no idea. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know if maybe he had like a he tore something from his bicep or tore something from his wrist, wherever. I didn't think it was bleeding because it was a nasty cut. So I was like, if you see my live reaction of it, well, I didn't show my face of it though. If I don't recall if I did or not, but I digress. I was saying, in the live reaction, I was saying, I hope he's alright. You know, hope it's not serious. And it ends up being serious that I thought it would be. So, which is unfortunate. And the match itself was underwhelming because it could have been a lot better because due to those type of circumstances. So, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, gets interviewed by Tony Schiavone, and she talks about breaking her wrist again. Against, I meant to say, Nyla Rose. Still tapped out, Nyla Rose with the jaw, the lockjaw. Says that that Rebel can't, or for Baker's case, Reba, can't keep her protected all time. When everyone is gunning for her, Britt Baker says that they apparently need someone to watch their back, but doesn't mention who it should be. Basically, I don't know if that's supposed to be like some type of teaser, of someone bringing someone in to to watch the back or that. I don't know, but it's something to be interesting to see what they do with that. So, Tony Schiavone announced that because originally it was supposed to be Tony Khan, but I guess Tony Khan decided to have Tony Schiavone to do it instead, to go on stage and talk about the upcoming event for the United Center in Chicago, the first dance for AEW Rampage on August 20th. Now, here's the thing, folks. On my live reaction, I thought it was going to be the debut show of AEW's Rampage, that they're going to have, the show in Chicago. But I was wrong. After watching, the other Dynamite show, Homecoming, that's gonna be, the debut show of AEW Rampage on August 13th. It's gonna be in Pittsburgh, or in Britt Baker's case, Pittsburgh. So the second show is gonna be the one that's gonna be in Chicago, the first dance, and that's where the show we're possibly gonna be seeing the debut of a certain CM Punk. I sound like I didn't say it right. So, and by the way, when that was announced, by the way, when that was going to be in Chicago, we had crowds chanting CM Punk. And then Alex Marvez with Darby Allin says, he's interviewing Darby Allin, where it pertains to the Rampage show, right? So Darby Allin says, he's been around a lot of guys who who once say they are the greatest. There's only one place to prove that: AEW. Even if you think you are the best in the world. Doing a little good there, Darby Allin is to CM Punk. And during teaser this too. Just saying. Hopefully, it's not false advertising. Just saying. Otherwise, the crowds in Chicago are going to tear the AEW limb from limb. So, Lance Archer went against Hikuleo, who was being accompanied by his dad, the legendary King Haku. So Lance Archer was out there by himself. And I like saying to women, where's Jake Roberts? Because that would have been nice to see Jake Roberts be there at ringside for Lance Archer. Meanwhile, you had King Haku being there for Hikuleo at ringside, where you could see two legends battling it out for each other. For the guys, that would have been awesome. But there was no Jake Archer. I don't understand why he wasn't there. But Lance Archer went up against Hikuleo for the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship title match, his first title defense in AEW. At the beginning, John Moxley for the title in in that death match they had, the Texas Death match. And in this match here, it lasted 8 minutes between Lance Archer and Hikuleo. Decent match, and in the end, it was Lance Archer getting the win because obviously he just won the belt. He just won the belt, so there was no way he was going to lose that belt to Hikuleo. Not against Hikuleo, but still. But there you go. Nothing but to say. Before I move on, let me see if there's anything else that was mentioned here. We go backstage and we see Alex Marvez, who's with Cody Rhodes, about his match against Malachi Black. And Cody Rhodes wearing all white. And all of a sudden, Cody Rhodes goes to say something, and then all of a sudden, he eats a boot in the face by Malachi Black, excuse me, wearing all black. So, I just got another spy versus spy moment here. Because this is what Spy versus Spy has been doing back in the days of Mad TV. Spy versus Spy always go after one another out of nowhere. So that's basically what it was here. So they start fighting, and they start fighting on the stage, and all of a sudden, Fuego del Sol and other people too, trying to break it up and everything. All of a sudden, Fuego del Sol gets kicked in the face by Malachi Black. I keep saying Aleister Black. But yeah, that was it. That's basically it. Not much to say about that. Poor Fuego del Sol, by the way. Taking a bullet there for Cody Rhodes there. Miro, the TNT champion, says that when he won the TNT title, he had open challenges, but over time his challengers have dried up. He says that Lee Johnson, which probably that's his challenger, is a talented wrestler, but he nor anyone else is going to take the title away from Miro, from him basically, and says that Lee Johnson can face him or run away, but either way, he'll face his reckoning on Homecoming. So we'll get to that when we get to that match. The show itself, I meant to say. Okay, I remember now. QT Marshall says something about was going to apologize to Tony Schiavone, but they, we're basically putting his whole up in the coffee on him and everything. And he says, but he wants to do it, with Tony Schiavone's family in attendance. And again, why do we care about this? I said before on the live reaction, why do we care about this? I've been saying this for weeks, even 4 weeks about this when this whole thing happened. Why do we care about QT Marshall and Tony Schiavone feuding? Six-man tag team match, 4 minutes and 3 seconds. 4 minutes and 30 seconds. I meant to say lasted. Christian Cage and Jurassic Express of Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus being accompanied by Marco Stunt versus the Hardy Family Office of Angelico, Private Party that features Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn being accompanied by Matt Hardy. Match itself, it was short, but it was decent. Matt Hardy at one point got involved. He got chased by Christian Cage, and then he got chased by Marco Stunt too, which was ridiculous, by the way. But it's whatever. But in the end, it was Christian Cage and Jurassic Express winning. And I'm trying to remember what happened after the match. Alright, so after the match, Christian Cage starts shaking hands with fans and all that. Also, the Blade shows up, sneaking up on them, hits him with the brass knuckles, and that was it. And that's going to lead to their match for Homecoming. Nick Gage cuts a promo telling Chris Jericho he's going to feel pain for the rest of his life after that match. Once we get to it. And that was it. And they show clips of Nick Gage's brutal matches. So, who cares? Thunder Rosa defeats Julia Hart, being accompanied by the Varsity Blondes of Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison in 4 minutes. Thunder Rosa wins. This is her first match. Being officially being All Elite for All Elite Wrestling. So there you go. Julia Hart some offense, but at the end of the day, it was Thunder Rosa's win here at the end of the day. Because she was going to win. No offense to Julia Hart, but So next review, we're chance to give you AEW Dynamite Homecoming. That's gonna be on Andrea's place. Hopefully, it'll be the last time they'll go back to Andrea's place in Jacksonville, Florida. If things are getting better. The matches lining up is Miro defending his AEW TNT title against Lee Johnson. Malachi Black versus Clay Rose, aka Spy versus Spy. The Bunny versus Layla Hirsch, where the winner against the face, the NWA Women's World Champion. And that's going to take place at NWA's Empower pay-per-view, which is this month. And Christian Cage with Jungle Boy at ringside versus The Blade with Matt Hardy at ringside. Now I don't remember if Christian Cage had Jungle Boy at ringside, and I can't remember if The Blade had Matt Hardy at ringside. I know he had the Bunny at ringside though. But as far as because I watched the show obviously. But as far as Jungle Boy being there, I don't remember if he was there or not. But I digress. So that, and those other things that I'm on the show too. But once I get the review, you'll find out. If you see my live reaction, if you see my live reaction too, I know about what was on the show too as well. But Jon Moxley backstage says that the second he loses his IWGP United States Championship, Tanahashi now shows up and makes his challenge. He says that Tanahashi has been dodging him for months, saying that Tanahashi doesn't get to wrestle him. Moxley says that he sent over some papers to Japan, and he'll see what's coming, what comes through the forbidden door. And that was it. Good promo there from Jon Moxley. And as far as Jon Moxley versus Hiroshi Tanahashi, I'd love to see that match. So there you go. And finally, the main event, a match I was not looking forward to. The death match between the Painmaker Chris Jericho versus Nick Gage. 13 minutes it lasted. You had piece of colors involved. You had steel chairs involved. You had a glass involved. We're just to send the glass on the two chairs, make it look like a glass table, which Jericho put on Nick Gage to it. I think you may have Chris Jericho's baseball bat involved. Floyd, the baseball bat. I don't recall, but I digress. Can't remember what weapons they were using there. Yeah, I don't recall any other weapons involved in there. But it was a type of match you expected to see. Nick Gage wrestling was garbage, trash, a dumpster fire. There was some attempts to moves. He was doing like a spine buster, the Falcon Arrow, the superplex, also top rope. Some moves I can't remember what he did, but it all looked shit. Nick Gage's wrestling moves makes John Cena's wrestling moves look like a 5-star. In the end, Chris Jericho wins, as I expected. It was, and by the way, yeah, MJF on commentary because it was part of the whole, the labor of Jericho. And that was the second one. And then also, after the match, you have MJF on commentary, cut a promo, as Jericho is laying there, looking uncomfortable as he possibly can. Which that's by the way, that's how MJF said too. By the way, MJF said like that. Yeah, so he says they aren't done. He tells Jericho to listen to him. MJF says that the third stipulation, the third labrum, says that he has to win a move by hitting a move off the top rope. And he brings up the whole clip that back in 2019 that Jericho brought up about Humberto Guerrero, and then MJF said, "Who's Humberto Guerrero?" and said, "Google him." And then MJF said, "Well, I finally Google him, and yes, it'll be after 15 years being away from TNT. Humberto Guerrero returns on TNT after 15 years to wrestle against Chris Jericho, his old foe." And there you go. And that will do it, folks, for that whole thing. And I'm about to say. So yeah, there you go, folks. And now let me get to my highlights of Fight for the Fallen. Swerve of the Night, for me. Swerve of the Night. I don't know. I don't know what could be Swerve of the Night here. I'll get back to that. Shock of the Night for me. Let's see. What could be Shock of the Night for me here? I guess I could go with Darby Allin saying that promo that he cut. Even if you are the best in the world. In fact, no. In fact, Haku will be Shock of the Night for me for appearing on AEW, Dynamite. So. But I don't know about Swerve of the Night though. I want to get back to that whole Swerve of the Night thing, but I don't know what could be Swerve of the Night here. Oh yeah. The finish of the match of FTR versus Proud and Powerful, the way that that happened. So that'll be Swerve of the Night. Because again, I was not expecting that on the Brainbuster to end the match, and the way that it ended. Moment of the night, it's gonna have to be moment of the night. I would say the Hangman, winning, except the fact he didn't fucking win. So I don't know what could be moment of the night here. I guess John Silver finally returning, into the ring. I thought it was a moment there where it tends to John Silver come back and do what he does after being away from injury. So promo of the night, I'm gonna go Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks against promo of the night. Video promo of the night is gonna have to be the Hangman on Page and the Dark Order, which is to Cowboy, basically doing cowboy shit. Segment of the night. I don't know. Let's see. I guess I'll get back to that too. Entrance of the night. I'm gonna go with the Elite Squad as the entrance of the night. So it was pretty cool. I enjoyed that entrance. Now to get back to the segment of the night here. The only segment there on the show there was the FT World Championship celebration for Ricky Starks. But I don't know. It wasn't really that point of a segment other than Ricky Starks promo. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I guess I'll go with that. The FTW World Championship celebration. Even though that was only that was only one, so I guess we'll go with that. Performance of the night. Let's see. Performance of the night for me. John Silver. I'll go with John Silver. Move of the night. Chris Jericho's Hurricanrana to Nick Gage to the glass table. I thought I was moving the night there. Finish of the night. I'll go with Dax Harwood's Brainbuster as a finish of the night there. So Brew match of the night has to be obviously the death match between Chris Jericho, the Paymaker, versus Nick Gage. Show stealer of the night would have to be the 10-man tag team match, because I thought that was a fun match, and I really think it stole the show. And finally, match of the night would have to be the tag team match between FTR and Proud and Powerful. Even though it felt underwhelming, because unfortunately they didn't get to do what they got to do, because unfortunately Cash Wheeler got hurt the way he got hurt. Unfortunate. So, but there you go, folks. That was my highlights of the night when it takes to Fight for the Fallen, and my overall stream for the show, where it takes to AEW Dynamite, presenting Fight for the Fallen 2021. I'm gonna go with, I can't remember. I can't remember what I said on the live reaction. 7.5 out of 10. I had to look back at it. So yeah, a good show though. Good show. 7.5 out of 10. And that being said, folks, I am done. Thank you all for watching. I should go ahead from here. This was your All Elite Wrestling review. We're going to give you AEW Dynamite results. We're presenting Fight for the Fallen 2021 from July 28th, 2021. For It's a Natural Born Thriller. Saying peace on the streets. Take care.